Saul and Battery, hosted by
Jeans
and Kelly. Forget what you know. Forget what you know. A Saul and Battery.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome back to Saul and Battery. I'm Kelly at KELLYTHUL on Twitter and Instagram.
I'm Jeans, and I'm at YEUNGJEANS on Instagram and Twitter.
And just go right into it, Jeans. Give us that 30-second recap. No need to wait. Just go.
Yeah.
Go. No?
Not happening.
Okay. I can keep hoping. Let's take it a prime number episode. It's episode 3, Something Beautiful.
Uh-huh.
We'll see. It's in the pre-show warm-up, we said. But sure. I'll be happy to do the 30-second recap.
Yeah.
Okay. So Nacho gets the works, and Mike passes on Hummelgate. Kim is overwhelmed by Kevin's modeling. Nacho gets fixed by the vet, but not like you'd think. And we get visits from our old friends Fran, Ira, and Gail. And Kim gets incredibly choked up on Charles's letter, but Jimmy does not. I think I covered the main beats, you think?
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting episode. This was back, we're in the world of the reverse Easter egg for Gene on some of these, but we got a boatload this time. We had three Breaking Bad characters of varying degrees of importance stop by this episode.
My favorite of which being Gail.
Oh, how can he has apparently always been very goofy, and they sell it and he sells it. And it was super nice to see him. He's so earnest, and he so wants to please.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe in the future, we'll need to feel bad for him.
I don't know. I love the science song he sings. I just think he's just adorable.
He is. And I'm convinced that the experiment that he was working on, that he was just trying to say as little as possible to Gus about. I think that is his infamous, amazing coffee machine that he had down in the super lab in Breaking Bad. So he's been working on that a long time.
Could be. I didn't quite understand his comment. Because he's analyzed a bunch of drug samples for Fring, and then he says, that he would like to take a crack at it, making something a little more pure. And it's the least he could do. So I'm very curious as to what exactly he owes to Fring.
I think all of his education. I think that Gus put him through Polos Hermanos scholarship program. Well noted.
Okay.
That he's been a benefactor of that.
I don't know that I've paid that close attention to his career path. Okay.
Yeah, there was a lot of this universe you consumed in a very short period of time.
Yeah, it's a little blurry. I want to say between starting Better Call Saul seasons 1 through 4, and then all of Breaking Bad, and then season 5 of Better Call Saul. I think it was a 3.5 week period. It was a little much.
So, something's going to leak out at that point.
A lot. Yeah. Some of it's like a sieve. It just goes right through.
Yeah, so somewhere in there, and I think it's when they were kind of casing. I guess, do we need to warn people about spoilers? So we're going to spoil like crazy, top to bottom, left to right. We'll try and
a spoiler. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll try within the Better Call Saul timeline to kind of stay to the current episode and not jump ahead too much. But things that happened in Breaking Bad, even though theoretically they're after Saul, we're going to talk about. So, warning, I guess. Sorry if you didn't expect that, but
if you haven't watched Breaking Bad,
yeah, you're gonna get spoilers. And when they were at Gail's place after Jesse stopped by, they eventually kind of came out that he was uh, being funded through Gus's organization for schooling. So,
Right. That's right.
but awesome character. Always like Fran. Fran's cool, the waitress. That I think
Yeah.
Mike might be a little sweet on. We never really
I
know for
ship
sure.
that so much. Every time she's on, yay.
And now she just sits waiting for Mike to come back into the diner. Probably not going to happen. So, and then Ira, who's one of the fumigator Nazis from later in the world, he makes a little appearance as well. So it's kind of cool. They do a nice job. They don't force it, but you do get, and it's always fun to kind of see one of these characters kind of come in universe, and so it's pretty cool.
Right.
So the episode proper, what'd you think?
I liked it. It's one of those episodes where nothing huge happens, but it's still good stuff. Still things that have to shake out, and build up, and those are still good episodes.
Yeah, well, there was the great Hummel heist, so that was the big action-packed sequence.
It felt more like a wah, wah.
But the actor playing Ira did a fantastic job in the dismay and despair. He's underneath the desk and he starts to realize, oh God, this guy's ordering takeout. I'm going to be here forever. But so
I love the description, by the way, of what he's stealing, which is a piece of crap your grandma gave you that you feel too guilty to throw away. Yep. I love that as the description of what they're sending him out to get.
Yeah, and that kind of sequence too was when Jimmy when Jimmy talks about sending the dude chased down to kind of pawn it at a local con or whatever, those types. He goes, "Those people are humble hungry," which is my favorite quote of the episode. Is I didn't realize we had humble hungry people out there, but God bless them. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I second that.
So, so in Hummelgate, in the whole process of the stealing, so apparently, and this is non-Cameron, right? This is the other guy of the two guys.
Correct.
Yeah, so non-Cameron
bought his wife a vacuum, apparently.
A very high-end vacuum. I feel it's important to point out.
I have a feeling it's a Dyson. I don't know.
Yeah, I think someone missed some product placement there. It's a Dyson. But and I realized the error in thinking. I don't know if this was an anniversary gift or a birthday gift or just a gift. But I realized that that's a risky buy. But is it out of the house bad? I guess that's my question. I
think it depends. I mean, if it's your 10-year anniversary and your husband gives you a vacuum cleaner, I think he should stay at work and sleep on a sofa.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Birthday, is it on the does a birthday put you out of the house or on the couch?
The car in the driveway.
Car in the driveway.
I just feel like, I mean, if it's like hey, I know you were looking at this, I bought it for you gift, that's one thing. But as like any type of major celebration, I feel like a vacuum cleaner, any type of, dishwasher, washing machine, dryer, any type of like household appliance is probably not going to go over well with most women.
That's fair. Yeah, and we lack the full context to know how bad a decision this was and whether the punishment met the crime. But he's there, and poor guy's not having a good week because he had that breakdown, and then Jimmy's got to get him out, so he tries, set off his car alarm and he'll come out, but he just...
Right, because Ira's trapped, waiting, trying to get out while this guy is spending the night there. So he's, he got a hold of the tchotchke, but then couldn't get out because not Cameron is spending the night because he bought his wife a vacuum cleaner.
And he very loudly talks to Jimmy, which I'm not sure how he pulls off in that office, but he's like, you need to get me out of here. And so Jimmy...
Maybe a bathroom break or something.
I don't know, because I thought I saw him in the background, but anyway, we'll suspend our disbelief on that.
There you go.
And so Jimmy comes and figures, set the car alarm off, that'll do it. And the guy just powered the clicker, stuck his arm out the door, shut it off, went back, locked things up, and more dismay for Ira. And so Jimmy goes back and hits it again, but adds the extra added twist of now the car's in motion going down the street.
Put the car in neutral and let it roll.
Yeah, it's a pretty smart move.
It is.
So it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
Uh, Go ahead.
It got Ira out. That's all we wanted.
That's absolutely what we wanted. Kim doesn't seem to be too happy.
No, I think she goes to visit them for the first time since her accident. The bank people. Why can I not remember the name right now?
Mesa Verde.
Mesa Verde, and they show her the models for every upcoming bank, and it looks like her work is now like being multiplied exponentially. There's a lot of models in there. I mean, and it was, I think she went through quite a bit just to open up that second branch. And now it's, I mean, he had to have like what, 10 of them in there?
Easily. It was a big room, and it was pretty full of models. So.
Right. So I think now she's seeing that this was not a simple deal, and she's got her work cut out for her.
Yeah. Looks like she's got a good assistant though. Viola seems to be on the ball, so that'll help some. But again, Ray Seahorn, amazing. Yeah. Very limited dialogue in that scene, but absolutely conveys like, this is overwhelming. This is I know likey all this stuff.
I don't know that I want to do this anymore.
Yeah,
right.
Totally didn't have to say a word. Totally got it from there. Yeah. And then poor Nacho. Not a good not a good episode for Nacho.
Interesting segue. Yes. Yes, poor Nacho.
I mean, I feel for Kim. I feel more for Nacho on this episode.
Yeah. So the way that they set it up was so that it looks like Nacho is not escaping with his life, which he is. And they shoot up the car out on the highway, and then they shoot Nacho twice. Poor guy.
Yeah, I think only once was cleared.
I don't know that he was prepared for that second one. I know because he braced himself in the car for the first shot, and then when he got out of the car and kind of walked away a little bit and was ready to make his phone call, I'm not sure if it was terribly clear that they were going to shoot him again, or because he was like, "Can I make that call now?" Bang.
Yeah. Or can I make that call? Kaboom. But not good. And he did not look good. But, fortunately, he got the best medical care that a veterinarian can provide.
In a moving vehicle. Without surgical supplies, yes.
I love the criminal vet.
I know, right?
Can we hit all the potholes? He's just, he's angry in there as he's trying to. So it's unclear. Obviously, they're transporting Nacho to, I guess, the back of a Jiffy Lube. And so which there's some product placement there. So I don't know how Dyson missed out. Jiffy Lube got some, but so it was pretty rough. He probably doesn't have a perforated colon. Maybe there's still a bullet in him. Couldn't be a problem down the road. He gave him he said, I gave you a bunch of highly general antibiotics, which.
Yeah.
I assume means
broad spectrum antibiotics is what he said, which is just will kill all the things.
Just everything. Okay.
Yeah.
Not
sinus infection, bladder infection, whatever. It's all covered.
That's good. So that should be in top shape after that.
30 bullets, whatever. Yeah.
And of course the cousins are there yakking up a storm like the cousins do. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, right. But I love the fact that basically he's like, I don't think you have a perforated colon, but if you do, you're going to get really sick and then you're going to die. It's just like.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that's his bedside manner with poodles too. You might have worms, and if you have worms, so I'm sure it's probably old habits are hard to shake. And I don't know if you picked up on it or not, but. So one of the cousins is providing a blood transfusion to Nacho. I don't really know how the vet figured out that what Nacho's blood type was, or if was it O positive or whatever. There's one type of blood that like anybody can take, right?
Universal donor, correct.
And so I guess at this point, why not give it a shot? Hopefully things are okay.
Right. Well, I think that was the whole thing was, he didn't really have supplies or anything that he could rely on. So it was like, well, he needs blood, and if he doesn't get blood, he's going to die. So we might as well just give him Yul Brenner's blood.
That's
and
right.
if he lives, fantastic. If not, he was going to die anyway.
That's right. Telly Savalas was over in the corner watching, but what I was slightly confused on, it's again a little nitpicky thing, but the criminal vet makes it very clear to Nacho that he's done. I do not want any more cartel stuff. That's not my deal. Too hot for me. But he leaves.
Yeah.
Is the cousin still hooked up to Nacho for the transfusion at this point?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I don't think there's anyone qualified to, somehow that has to like stop, and I don't think there's anybody in that room that's qualified to stop it. So hopefully he took care of that before he left. But
I didn't think they were still hooked up together when he left, but I wasn't. I don't know. It's a small screen.
Yeah, it maybe they gave us the scene showing the transfusion, and then sometime later, even though the scene seemed to kind of flow through, but. Yeah, let's hope they weren't still connected, because that's not going to end well. They'll keep walking around with the tube for days. I don't know, couldn't be good. So, but another fun episode.
Yes.
It was.
And then we have to talk a little bit about the letter from Charles.
Absolutely. Your thoughts on the letter from Charles? First of all, I was surprised that it was fairly venom free. Actually, almost completely venom free.
I have to say, there was something there where I felt like maybe Charles didn't write that. There's part of me that just is like, he's not that nice.
Yeah.
Charles is not a nice brother. There's never been anything nice about him. And so for him to have written a letter that is like, you were just the pride and joy to our mother, and and we didn't get along, and we probably won't continue to get along, and that's okay. And I'm happy that we share the name McGill, because he's not at all happy that they share the same last name. I kind of felt a little bit like maybe Charles didn't write that, or
he wrote it before Jimmy became a lawyer.
Yeah, I don't know. But it didn't seem like Charles at all. It seemed typical like Charles, because Charles is very sort of, dot the I's, cross the T's. So from like kind of that standpoint, but I really didn't see what the point was of the letter. There was no heavy emotion to it. There was no epiphany that was reached about our relationship. There was no depth to that at all. And so I really didn't. I don't see what the point of it was.
Yeah, it busted Kim up pretty good.
Unless she wrote it and she feels bad because she's pulling one over on Jimmy. I just don't know.
Yeah.
There was something weird about it. It was something.
Yeah. It did not read Chuck
No.
by any stretch of the imagination, but maybe pre-Rebecca divorce, Jimmy lawyer Chuck was a little
15 years ago, sort of.
Yeah, and he wrote it and forgot about it, because he had a different version if he had written it later. He probably had a few choices. I think the chimp with the machine gun stuff would have been coming up in the letter, So I think it's pre that, but yeah, it was interesting. So that's an interesting angle, because it definitely doesn't read like a Chuck letter.
No, and like I said, there was no point to it.
Yeah.
There was literally no point.
And we know Howard didn't do it because it wasn't on HHM stationery.
No,
special blue ink.
I feel like she starts crying to the point where she has to get up and leave the room during this very bland letter. And so it felt like something was very off to me. I don't know.
Yeah. It does seem as though Kim's quite invested. That she would much prefer a world where Chuck respected Jimmy,
Right.
and that there was a better brotherly connection than there is. You could tell
Right.
that that's something that and so maybe
Yeah.
that dredged up. I don't know, but yeah,
Right.
it was different.
Yeah. Definitely. There was something kinky.
But we got criminal vet action, we got surprise second gunshots, and we got a Hummel swipe. So all in all, pretty good episode.
Not too bad.
Not bad at all. So that probably wraps it up for us for this week. We'll be back next week to talk about episode 4. And
Yes.
thanks for watching, folks.